So today I thought would be a good day to do an impressions vlog, my first impressions of Hanoi. Though I must say I was here several years ago, maybe more than 15 years ago now, so it's more like my second impression, my second first impression. What I'm gonna do is talk about the 5 best things I like about Hanoi, and then the 5 least favorite things. There's a hint for one of the dislikes. So yeah, I'm just walking around Westlake here on the east side of Westlake. I thought it would be a good location to talk about this. It's not as noisy and there's some things to see in the background here. I'll show you guys some sights as I walk too so you can see my perspective. That's not something you see every day. Someone's dog swimming in the lake trying to catch some fish. It looks like the dog's swallowing quite a lot of lake water there. Got a little sidetracked there with the dog. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the 5 best things that I like about Hanoi so far, and then move on to the more negative aspects. The best thing about Hanoi, or one of the best things, is the coffee. So good. It's probably the best coffee I've had in the world, and there's so many different types of flavors you can get. I like just having a black coffee. It's very strong and robust. And I also like the condensed milk sometimes that you can put in there. It's not overly sweet, just enough. It's very creamy, dense. And there's other types of flavors you can get too. Like I had one with, it was like a cheesecake coffee with coconut ice cream. It was really good. I'll put a link in the description for the location of the cafe that I had it at. It was really good. It was in the Old Quarter, and I'll put a link for the coffee I had today as well along the lake here. So yeah, the coffee's awesome. And second thing, it's a little bit more difficult to describe, but I'll try my best. I call it embraced chaos. The first thing you notice when you come to Hanoi is the scooter traffic. It's just everywhere. Like everywhere you look, there's a scooter flying by. And what I mean by embrace chaos is like, I have never seen an accident. And I think the reason is no one tries to get in the way of it. They just sort of flows. Everything just flows naturally. And I think if you were to sum it up, the best way I can really describe it is like, you know when Bruce Lee said, be like water?
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
I think that's why it works here. Like everyone just sort of moves in sync, and everything just aligns the way it should, because everyone has that same shared attitude.
Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot.
Like when you're trying to cross the street here, you just walk slowly and carefully and keep the same pace without stopping. And somehow there's no problem. There's no accidents at all. I haven't seen anything so far, knock on wood. So yeah, the embrace chaos, just because everyone goes with the flow and embraces it, it seems to work. Everything flows naturally.
Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Like that, you see?
Yeah, I see. I get the idea. I get the power behind it.
So yeah, that aspect of Hanoi is quite impressive. There's not many places in the world where you can witness that, where everything just flows in sync with each other, with everything together. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. We're just walking by the Intercontinental Hotel here to my right, or behind me. Alright, number 3. The third thing that I like about Hanoi is the Old Quarter, and the area just kind of south of the lake, of Westlake. And around here too is kind of nice. But yeah, the Old Quarter and the main sites and attractions in that area, what I like is it's very close together. It's very easy to walk to everything. If you have a hotel in that area, I think that's a good idea, because then you can just access everything easily enough without having to take Grab or public transportation. I'm just walking into this temple here. Yeah, it's quite nice in here. It's really quiet and peaceful. A good place to talk about the other things I like about Hanoi. So as I was saying, yeah, in the Old Quarter and around that vicinity, there's a lot of really nice places. All the main attractions are there, like the mausoleum. That's the word I was looking for. The Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. You gotta go see that if you're in Hanoi for sure. The Presidential Palace area is impressive, and around Hon Kiam Lake, all of that you gotta see, and the temple near there on the island is very impressive. It's quite touristy though. And what else? Oh, on Westlake, there's another temple along a bridge that you have to see. I'll show you guys some highlights of that as I'm talking too, along with the other things I've been showing. That other temple on Westlake is called Tran Quoc Temple. Oh, and you should see the Temple of Literature, and the statue of Lenin too is worth a look. There's a lot of skateboarders around there. It's kind of cool watching them do their tricks and stuff. I definitely like how the Old Quarter has all those sites within walking distance. Yeah, if you guys install the Grab app, the bikes here, if you want to take a Grab bike or even a car, it's super cheap. Like I've taken a Grab bike sometimes and it's like 20,000 dong, which works out to like a little bit under $1. It's just ridiculously cheap. You can go anywhere in the city for a reasonable amount. I've been staying at a place near Westlake, so when I go to the Old Quarter, I just take a Grab bike. It's super efficient. The only problem is sometimes if you're leaving the Old Quarter later, it can be challenging to book a Grab bike. I guess most people are working until maybe someone's doing some construction over there. Maybe it's a bit quieter here on the other side. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm staying at a hotel near Westlake, so I'll have to take a Grab bike into the Old Quarter and then back. But sometimes later at night, the Grab bike drivers aren't working. So just keep that in mind if you're not staying around the Old Quarter, or if you're staying by Westlake. The Grab bikes don't always work later at night. So yeah, I love how Grab is super cheap in Hanoi, and for the rest of Vietnam for that matter. It sounds like there's a Buddhist ceremony going on right now. I hear a drum beat by the temple here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Just ahead of me here. Sounds like some sort of mantra the monk's repeating there. Super peaceful here. Recommend coming here if you have some time. I'll put a map link in the description too of this temple. Okay, so what's that? 3 things? 4 things I like about Hanoi so far. So the coffee, the embraced chaos. What was the other one I was talking about? Man, my short-term memory needs help. Coffee, embrace chaos. Oh, the old quarter sites and how everything's close together. Cheap Grab bikes. Grab is very affordable here. And what's the 5th one?
I want you to really concentrate on me.
Oh, beautiful women. Vietnamese women are just gorgeous. I had to put that in there. If you're single and you want to visit Asia and see some of the most beautiful women in the world, come to Vietnam. You won't be disappointed. So those are my 5 likes for Hanoi. And you gotta have the good with the bad. So I'll talk about things I'm not so crazy about. So as you guys may have guessed, what I mentioned earlier, there's construction here, and there was quite a lot of scooter traffic when I first started out. The first thing that I'm not so crazy about is the noise. There's quite a lot of noise in Hanoi. And I think, I don't know, I might have an opinion about that because I came from Chiang Mai originally. Chiang Mai was super chill. There's noise there too, but the place I was staying was quite relaxing. It was very minimal traffic where I was, and I just didn't seem to notice the scooter traffic very much there. But when I arrived in Hanoi, it was like the first thing I noticed. It's like, wow, there's a lot of muffler noise here. Though here, on the other hand, at the temple, it's reasonably quiet. Reasonably quiet.